Okay. Well, we've got to let you all know we're recording, so. Right, I just have to let you know. Okay, and ladies, I'm right now on our screen, those of you on Zoom, we're seeing you up on the wall as well, and so I'm gonna try to minimize you. But if y'all need anything, just send a chat and we should be able to see it, okay? Okay, so first off, I'm Kathy Bingham, y'all know that. And this is
I'm Mary
Mary
Lou.
Lou. And I'm gonna apologize in advance. I scratched my eye, so my nose is running, so I may have to take my mask up and down. Real quick, before we really get started, let me go back to seeing them. Janice, can you give us a thumbs up if you can hear both me and Mary Lou? Can you hear Mary Lou when she talks? Okay, so Mary Lou, you may have to just come around a little. Okay. Will you just say hi to them again so we can see if they can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, awesome.
That's good.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get started.
Okay, well, the purpose of this program is really to help kids who are behind in school. And we know that because of the pandemic, some of the kids even that would not have been behind before are. So there's a really big need for this. And our main goal is to help them with fluency and comprehension. I know that not all of you are teachers, and so decoding and all of that is, may not be something that you have a lot of information with. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be a teacher to do this. All you are doing is listening to them read and helping them with comprehension and fluency. Fluency is being able to read smoothly, being able to read with expression. So just encouraging them to reread part of a selection, or you modeling for them how to read it and then have them read it back to you. All of those things are going to be really helpful for them. Okay, so. Some of the ways that reading out loud helps them is to improve their verbal memory. When you hear something as well as reading it silently to yourself, you're increasing your ability to reinforce that in your brain. There was a big push several years ago to do more kinesthetic learning, where kids are feeling things and touching them and verbalizing, and all of that has been proven to help. I know when I was in college, I would rewrite my notes when I was studying for a test. And that's another way, you're using your memory in a different way. So that's one of the things we're trying to do, also to increase their comprehension, enhance their social connection, and increase their involvement with the text. We're hoping that you'll develop a real relationship with the child that you're working with, and be a friendly adult that they, kind of like an aunt or a grandma or somebody that they can really relate to and feel comfortable reading to.
Okay, so the school that we are going to be working with is in Plano. It's Jackson Elementary. It's over off of Jackson Drive on the corner of Jackson and Jomar Drive. And this is just a little map of aerial view of the school. And you can come from 15th Street and turn down and get to the school, however your GPS gets you there. But there is a parking lot on the corner of Jackson Drive and Jomar Drive. And this is in your packet, so you've got that as well. Good morning. We've got someone else joining us. So it's right there on the corner. The place you want to park is on that corner. You can park. There is a parking lot back here, but it is quite a walk to the front door. Okay. The front door is on that corner as well. You go up some steps and it's right there. So. Okay.
Well, obviously, we're not starting on January 11th. That came and went. COVID kind of put a dent in that, and yes, sure.
This is so typical teachers.
Can you tell?
I love it.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
I love it.
in this case, it's good.
It's a good thing.
Mhm.
So I have been in contact with the school and the principal, and so we decided initially that we would wait a couple of weeks and see what happened. And now it looks like we're kind of in the midst of the throes of it, and I think we're going to have to postpone it longer, not be able to even start in January, or maybe possibly not even February. So we're kind of looking at working day to day, but we wanted to get you trained so that you're ready to go when they do say we're able to go in, and get your preference as to whether you want to work on Tuesday or you want to work on Thursday, and have all of that done. So when they say, yes, we can, they're looking forward to having us as soon as possible. But it's just not safe right now. And I would feel horrible if we passed it along to the children, or if they passed along something to us. It's just not a good way to start out. So I hope you all understand that we're doing the best we can.
Sorry, I
But
went the wrong way.
the days will be Tuesday and Thursday, and the times are 11:30 to 11:50, or in the afternoon, 1:10 to 1:30, or 1:30 to 1:50. And some people said that they would maybe like to do two sessions back to back with two different kids. So then that would be the time in the afternoon that you would go from 1:10 until 1:50. Okay. And you're going to spend about 20 minutes a week with the child and be working one-on-one with the same child each session. And if you want to buddy up with somebody, if you feel like I may be out of town sometime, or, if I get sick, what do I do? You can go every other week and have a buddy that goes on the week that you're not going. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, good.
Okay, so volunteer registration. Most of you are already signed up to volunteer from Project School Bell. Did I say that right? Operation School Bell. Y'all, I'm never gonna get it. I'm never gonna get it. Operation School. I'm never gonna get it. Sorry. Okay. Y'all know what I mean. So most of you with that, back in the fall, you signed up to be a volunteer for Plano. If you did not, I need you to go ahead and do that. All the volunteers have to be registered through their website. And if you do it now, sometimes it takes 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes it's a day. You just never know. It's whenever they have some free time to approve you. So you would go to planovolley.org. And I'm gonna see if I can escape from this real quick and show that to you. So if you go to planovolley.org, you can create a volunteer account. I already have one, so I can't go in and fake set one up for you, sorry. But you just give them all that information. If you're not sure if you have already or not, you go ahead and go there, put your email in, it'll tell you. If you've already signed up, it'll let you know if you go to the login part. You're able to also log in from your phone and everything. But once you do go and you log in, if you already, like if you know your account and all that, it'll show you your public profile. You don't have to have picked Jackson as one of your schools, but if you want to, you can do that as well. So, but you don't have to, you just have to be approved by Plano. You should get an email from them that tells you you've been approved. It might go to your spam, so you may not have ever seen it, or you might just not remember. But we do have a sheet for you. I mean, come on, let's be real. I don't always remember. So there is a sheet at the very, I think in the very back that we're going to have y'all fill out.
It's on the
And
left-hand side.
okay, and we're going to have y'all fill it out and tell us whether you are or not. The school will also tell us. We're sending them a list. Y'all who are here, your names are already on that list.
Anyone who
So
signed up for the training.
so
Making sure.
I have a few new people to have checked, but otherwise we are good. Let me go back to the, I'll have to, there we go. All
Perfect.
right.
You're so good at this.
Oh, I'm learning as we go. Okay, so some preparation and some procedures for y'all. If you are a member of the Assistance League, we are going to ask that you wear your badge. If you're not, well, regardless, either way, they're going to give you a badge when you come to the door. You'll have to put their school badge on. But those of you that are members, we'd like you to wear your name badge. We do have a few community members who they're actually online right now that are thinking about also working with us. So we do ask that you try to arrive. Oh, we're on Zoom.
You know, the reason I was late is this call right here. I was on the phone for about an hour and a half, waiting with Viking.
Oh,
Mm,
dear.
yes. So, and so just so you know, we are recording the Zoom call too. So
Okay.
they're on there and they can hear you. So when you get to the school, we just ask that you try to arrive about 10 minutes early because you never know what's going on in the office and how long it will take them to get you signed in. And then you're going to ring the bell at the front door, have your driver's license ready. Sometimes they want it and sometimes they don't. You don't know, so just be ready. You'll sign in at the front office and you'll collect your materials there. And then you're going to take your student to University Hallway, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. Listen to them read and send them back to the classroom. It really is that simple. We have a little weekly communication sheet as well that you're going to work on, and you'll return your materials and check out. Or if you're staying for the second one, go grab your other kiddo. So, okay, so this is just kind of a sample listening session. And some of y'all have seen this before, but so you're going to sign in at the front office, collect your materials, spend about 5 minutes. We call it meet and greet with the child. And we have it in here for you, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but there is a weekly prompt, or it's actually a winter prompt that we've provided for y'all, just to kind of get to know the kids and get them to open up to you. Then there'll be a book that they'll have, and you'll spend 15 minutes working with them with their book, doing a picture walk through the book, listening to them read, helping them with vocabulary and pronunciation of words, asking questions to check for their understanding. And then after you've sent them back, you'll spend about 5 minutes filling out just a little sheet, just so we kind of can keep track of how they're doing and where they are. You are not evaluating them, so you don't have to worry about any type of testing or evaluations. It's a super simple sheet, and Mary Lou will go over it with you in just a moment.
Okay.
Like
so,
right now.
Like right now. All right, so on the left-hand side of your folder, there is the icebreaker page, and these are just some suggestions for like the first time you come in. Now, if we can't start this until spring, we may have to reevaluate, revisit this one. But each time you come, there'll be different suggestions. And since our time is so short with the kids, as you're walking them down from the classroom to the university hallway, you can go ahead and get started on some of these, questions and getting to know you kind of things. So these are just some things like, would you rather live in a gingerbread house or would you rather live at the North Pole? And then of course you tell them how you would feel too. Like if they say, oh, I'd rather live at the North Pole. And you can say, oh yeah, I would too, but it's really cold there. So I think I'll choose a gingerbread house, and just kind of, encourage them to have some conversation. Would you rather make a snow angel or go sledding? And they may say, what's a snow angel? Because we don't have a lot of snow here in Texas. So then you could explain to them, what that is. You're building background knowledge whenever you talk to them. And, that's why this part of it is so significant. It's not just a blow off kind of a thing. So there are just some questions here. You don't have to do all of them. Pick a few of them. The first time you may just want to find out some things about them and their family, and they may want to find out some things about you. But there'll be a suggestion in here every time for, what you can do. So that's the first one. And then the other one is a comprehension sheet. Yeah.
I just wonder, because I'm doing this one for grandmother.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm not a teacher.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Are we allowed or not allowed to kind of touch them, put an arm around them or anything?
Not so much. I'll check for sure with the school, but the boundaries are pretty
I
strict.
don't want to, I
Yeah.
want to just.
I know you do. I know, and I do too, but I will make sure about that.
So those of you on Zoom, I'm not sure that you heard Rita's question. She was asking, as a grandmother, can you, hug them or touch the kiddos? And really, we try to discourage you from that. We are going to check with the staff and see, how comfortable they are. If a kid jumps on you, like hugs you, you
Sometimes
can't
that
stop it.
happens.
It
Yeah, they
happens,
just-
they get super excited. You can't help that, don't shove them away or anything. But but you just gently,
Yeah.
okay, thanks, and
I
it'll
think-
be okay.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
things that are initiated by them.
yeah,
But I know like
Yeah.
little girls especially, they
Mhm.
just love when you're reading to them to come up and stroke your hair or
yes,
give you a shoulder
Yeah.
rub, all of those kind of things. And I know they've had to really kind of crack down on that.
Yeah.
Just because they worry about lawsuits and things
Right,
like that.
right.
Which I hate that we've come to that.
and
but-
you're never going to actually be alone with the children, so that is one good thing. You may be for a moment in a big hallway, but you're in a big hallway that they have video of. So I mean, just be aware and know that typically you're not alone with the kiddos. So
They said just don't answer it. So.
and the phone's ringing, but we're not answering. So all righty. Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
one more question.
Mentioned if these were, you would change
Uh-huh.
them, so you're talking weekly, monthly? and then-
Yeah, every week or every 2 weeks, something like that,
So we don't
so.
have to worry about that we run out of
Oh,
questions,
heavens,
we
no.
don't-
No. And
No,
you
no.
don't have to use
No.
these at all. These are simply just prompts. If you
Just
don't
to
have
help
anything else,
you Feel more
um,
comfortable.
a really good one, if you do run out, is ask them what library book they got. And some of them might actually bring their library books with them. Just as a starter at first, we chatted with the teachers about that might be a good, icebreaker is talk to them about their library book, because most of them are very excited about them. And a lot of times they pick books they can't read. So,
Harry Potter. Everybody wants to walk
yeah.
around with a big Harry Potter book,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and they won't be able to read it, but they're so interested in it and they've seen the movie or
Right.
whatever, so.
So,
What you don't want to do is ask a question that can be answered with yes or no, because
Right.
that really doesn't encourage conversation or you getting to know them very well. So
Yeah.
that's why I picked these, because it's, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? And they have to
Mhm.
answer with a question. So, okay, the other paper is about comprehension questions. And these are so simple. It's just the who, what, when, where, and why, or how. You put the name of the book, and then you just ask them who was in the story. And they may tell you, somebody, oh, I can't remember his name, but there was a little boy or whatever. That's fine, as long as they have some knowledge of who the main character was. What was the story about? And it might be you to only get through a chapter of the book, but then they can tell you what are the things that happened in the chapter. And where did it happen? When did it happen? What was the main problem in the story? And how did the story end? So there's room there for answers. You don't have to write down everything that they say, But if there's something you have a question about, or you're not sure whether you should give them credit for it, there's room there for you to write that down. And then score. If they knew what they were talking about, you give them a 1. And if they couldn't remember, that's fine. Just give them a 0. It's just kind of so we can glance at it and see, is this story appropriate for them? Are they understanding it? Do they need something a little bit easier? Or do they need something harder? So
You're fine.
no, that's what we want.
Will it be a different book each time?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, it should be a different, usually it'll be a different book each time. Yeah,
If they didn't get to the end, that would be not applicable.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
tell you at the end unless you did it.
right.
right. And you can put a check mark, versus putting a 1 if they start to notice you're scoring them. You can put a check mark and then go back later and actually,
So
score
we're
it.
doing this in front of them.
You're doing it,
Kind of, they're used to that.
They're used to it,
actually,
yeah.
Because teachers go through and give them, different tests throughout the year.
Mhm.
And so just kind of keep your paper this way, and
yes.
So there's timing, I saw in the how long.
Mhm.
If the point is they haven't even finished a chapter, you're cutting them off at some point because you need to move to the final step, the evaluation step.
well, yeah, when you see the books though, you'll see that they're at a level where they have very short chapters. And so even if they haven't finished the book, you can ask them questions about the chapter that they
Right,
read.
I'm just
So
wondering, am I cutting them off mid-chapter if I've hit my 10, 50, whatever the time mark is for the child? Or do I let them finish?
I think you just say we have to stop
Okay.
now because our time limit is 20 minutes. And, it doesn't seem like very much time, but when they're reading out loud to you, it is quite a long time to read out loud for 10 minutes. So,
That's what I'm thinking, if they're
Yeah.
struggling, it could take
Yeah.
them longer.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and
And the book that they get should not be a huge struggle for them.
Okay.
The point of it is to really work on their fluency and their comprehension. So it should be at a level that they're able to read at, but they may just struggle over a few words here and there,
And if it
names of
is
things.
too difficult in the
Yes.
comments section
Yeah.
down at the bottom.
We need to know that.
Just put
Yeah.
that down,
Yeah.
too difficult.
Yes.
I don't know that these books would be so interesting that they want to finish, but are they accessible to the children if they wanted to finish it for some reason?
Well, they're kept in the literacy center. So I would think you could send it back to the classroom with them and they could take it back to the literacy library. We can talk to the teachers about that.
We need to check because
Yeah.
we may have to be the ones that check the books back in. We're not sure of that process yet. So usually the kids, though, they really are used to reading as far as they go and giving it back. They really,
It's not gonna be
No.
suspenseful or-
no. These are not typically suspenseful books. No.
Book each time, even if they didn't finish, will they bring that book back to finish?
I think it'll have
Probably
to
be
be
a
a different
different
book
book.
each time because
We'll
gonna
switch out
be-
everybody's.
it'll be really hard to go through each one and look at it and see what page that they finished at and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay. So, and then you've got another sheet.
on the back of that page, this is the information page that you fill out after they leave. And you put the name of the book they read, and it's just your evaluation of how things went. Decoding, which is just word reading. How did they do? Did they get most of the words right? Well, then that's excellent, Did they really struggle to the point where you had to give them, most of the words that were on the page? Or, is it too hard? You can circle more than one. You can circle struggled and too hard if you think that that's applicable. And what type of errors did they have? Did they seem to have trouble with vowels, pronouncing the vowels correctly? Was it like blends, consonant blends like PL or PR or BL? Prefixes, suffixes at the beginning of a word, the end of a word, compound words. Those are all things that second graders are, having introduction to and that they should be familiar with. So if you can't pinpoint it, then just leave it. blank. This is just,
Really.
it should be real easy for you just to go down and circle. Fluency, were they reading smoothly? Were they reading accurately? That's what we want. Were they reading too slowly and making errors? Were they reading too fast and skipping over words? And students' opinion of the book. And this, you kind of have to ask them, did you like the book that we read today? So that you can tell, did they enjoy it? Didn't like it? Didn't have any opinion? Student connection. And that happens like when you're reading a book, like maybe it's about a train, and they'll say, oh, I went on a train ride one time and we did this and this and this. They're making a connection to real life. Or you're reading a book about going to a amusement park and they, give you information. We really encourage that because that really draws them into the story. So if you can get them to talk about their connection, that's a good thing. And vocabulary, did they understand the words they read? A lot of these kids are going to be bilingual kids or kids that don't, from homes where they haven't had a lot of experiences. So you may have to explain vocabulary words to them. And sometimes they won't ask you, but if you think this is a word, oh, maybe he doesn't understand that, especially if he's having trouble saying the word, decoding it, then you can help them with that and tell if they struggled with that. And we'd love to have you give them a compliment about their reading. See if you can find something to say, wow, you did a great job with this today. And what was your compliment? And did you make a connection with the student? Could be from one of those questions on the icebreaker page or something they told you about their family. What kind of connection did you make with them? So that should not take, more than 3 or 4 minutes to complete that. And then those stay in the folder and go back to the office.
So, then the folder, we pick it up when we get to the school.
There'll be a
Yes.
and we
basket.
drop it off.
Mhm. There'll be a basket on a table in the office and it'll be labeled for us. And there'll be a bunch of folders in there and you just take the folder that goes with your child and then you return it to the basket at the end.
It's always gonna be the same area to read,
Yes.
so you just meet the child.
Maybe after the first couple of times, but the first time they want you to go to the classroom and pick them up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's on the way. So
And
you
Kathy or
go,
I will be there.
yeah, we'll be
you just
there.
knock on the door,
Yes.
poke your head in,
Yep. And
have like the-
yep. And we,
Susie. is-
yeah, we made sure because we were worried, about interrupting the class and the teacher's like, nope, tell them to come.
Just
Just have them
They
come.
get pulled out for so many
Yeah,
different things.
they really
so.
do. They're very used to it. And so it's the norm for
Yeah.
them. It's nothing unusual for them to, I mean, if she's in the middle of teaching math, which I think is one of the times that we're going to be there, they said, yeah, just peek your head in and say, I need, Josiah, or whoever it is.
show you what,
We will
We'll
be
be
there. Yes, one of us will,
We will be
one of,
there.
yeah. No, one of us will
She'll
be there.
She'll be there on Tuesdays. I'll be there on Thursdays.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So one of us will be there and then we'll help you, get where you need to go, where to go get your kiddos. And then there is a hallway that they call University Hallway. And it is just
Very
a
wide.
big,
Yeah.
long, wide hallway. And on one side of it, it has built-in benches all along the side of it. And that's actually where you're going to be sitting with the kiddos. And I can't remember if it comes up again later, but you will sit there and there are some TV trays. So if you want a table, get yourself a TV tray, set it up and just sit anywhere along that hallway. There's nothing else happening in that hall, so there aren't other distractions. But like if Christine's sitting a little further down, it might distract my kiddo a little bit. So you do want to try to
Spread out.
spread out a little bit. So, and there is a courtyard when it's nice out again. I would not go out there today. But it's right off of there, and we'll show it to you when the weather gets nicer. But you are able to go out there, and they do have some little stools that you can take a stool and sit out there with the kiddos if you want. I just wouldn't advise you to go out there on your own with a kid. You know, if a couple of you want to, both go outside, then, but it's just blank cement out there. So there's nothing out there. So anyhow,
Is there a limit of how many of us can be there at one time, reading?
No.
that is currently not a problem. No,
I
it would be a
wondered about
wonder
that too,
problem,
but
but
they said no.
we don't. Yeah, no.
Okay, so what to remember about some of the children? Many of them are bilingual, as I said. There are ESL students, but the ESL students are pretty much kept separate with their teacher. So, but she said we may have some bilingual students that are on the bubble that are learning English, but we could definitely benefit from reading out loud to someone. And like we said, it's important for them to understand the meaning of the words, not just to say the words. So anything you think, they might not know what that is, ask them, do you know what this means? And then they'll tell you, or you can help them. And don't be too quick to say the word if they don't respond, because then they'll get used to you saying it for them, and it's like a crutch for them. So give them a little wait time and see if they can figure it out, and then help them try to, oh, this has an ending on it. What if we take off the ending? Do you know that word? And just kind of help them a little bit to guide them.
When you're listening to them, like I mentioned, we'll be in the university hallway. There are those benches, and there are TV tables, TV trays. Sorry. You're going to sit side by side with them, just like Mary Lou and I are sitting this way, and kind of away from others, like I mentioned. The students, you'll pick them up in their classroom. You start off, just introducing yourself and ask their name, and library books are those good icebreakers. And then we also gave you some. And then while you're listening to them, if they are really struggling with some words, you can write those down. If it's just one specific word over and over, it might be a word that their teacher wants to work with them on later. And we'll tell the teachers that. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay, during the reading, always be positive and encouraging. You're doing such a great job. And I know you can do this, so don't give up. You're doing fine. Try to make it enjoyable for them. Instead of, oh, no, you got that word wrong, that kind. I know you would never do that, but just, be like reading with one of your kids,
Let's go back to that word.
Yeah,
Let's try
go
that
back
one
and look
again.
at that word again. And what we mean by a picture walk is, like, if you're doing the first chapter of this book, just look at the pictures and say, oh, what's happening here? There's a little boy, there's a dog, it's winter time, what's going on here? He's getting up in the morning, and just kind of go through the chapter and see, oh, look at this. He's all dressed up in his, snowsuit. Let him make, or her make comments about the pictures that they're seeing. And that's a picture walk. You do that at the beginning of the story before you start, because that builds up a little background knowledge. They can, oh, I went outside in the snow and I had to wear boots and I had to wear all that stuff too. They may need a bookmark, some kind of a little bookmark. Most of the kids use their fingers to point at it, but if you can see they're going offline, sometimes they don't track really well. You might have a little bookmark handy to, I'll see if I can, round up some to put in the folders. Let's see. If they're really struggling, another good thing to do is say, you read this sentence, I'll read the next one. That way you're taking the pressure off of them a little bit, and they can kind of get through the chapter without really struggling, and then make a note that they need to have an easier book next time. Okay.
Okay, so behavior. I know some of you are not teachers and are worried about kids' behavior, so we are just going to talk about it. So
Get it out in the open.
get it out there. Okay. The biggest thing you're probably going to have an issue with is kids being distracted by what else is going on, or so and so down there is reading too loud, or they're just excited to be there and see you. And so you just need to try to refocus them, ask them a question about the story, or discuss a picture in the book. Just refocus them. Okay. Be friendly, but be firm. It's okay to be firm. If there's a consistent problem, and they just are not paying attention and they're not focused at all, and you can't get them back, you just let us know about it. Email Mary Lou after the session, and she's going to be our go-between with the teachers and the principal and all of that. And you know, a child might lose the privilege of getting to come read with us. It is a privilege for them to get to come. I highly doubt that's going to happen because they are so excited to come read with you. We're here to help them with reading and not discipline. That's not what we're there for. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Something might be going on in their life that you just don't know about, and you know, you aren't probably going to know about. And just know, however they behave, that's not a reflection on you. The teachers are not going to think, oh my gosh, this person does not know what they're doing or anything like that. It's not a reflection on you. They know which kiddos, you know, have trouble with that.
That's
They
right.
know. Yes.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Many years ago, I taught music at Jackson,
Mhm.
and at that time, it was an open classroom.
Mhm.
And is it still in the same, or have they built walls in between the classes?
They pretty much closed it.
Yeah.
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 Because that would, you know, they're used to distractions.
Right.
Yeah.
And they are very used to distractions because they're used to people coming and going in the rooms and all of that. They really are used to that. You're just somebody new, and sometimes that, you
Mhm.
know, they get excited about
And they
that.
assured us that they were
yeah.
going to be selecting kids that they
Yes.
thought could really benefit from this and would be excited about
Yeah.
doing it. And are more like bubble kids, not the lowest kids in the class, because they have tutors coming in to work with those kids.
Mhm.
But these are the kids that may just fall between the cracks.
Mhm.
And so I'm really thinking that we won't have any much
No.
trouble with
No.
discipline. But
We really are not anticipating
Yeah.
that. And
never
like
know.
I said, one of us will be there. So we may be walking back and forth in the hallway. And, you know, if you need us, you know, let us know. And we'll have our phones, I think, too. So,
Especially
you know.
those first few weeks.
Yes,
We want you to be successful. so-
Yes. Yeah.
No problem. Okay, so just a reminder, just do the best you can. You don't have to be perfect. You're not a teacher. They don't expect you to be a teacher. They are very grateful for what we're doing, and, you know, just enjoy it. Anything you do is more than that child would receive if you were not there. So keep that in mind. You're going to become more confident the more that you do it, more times that you go through it. And if you do have any questions after your session, that's what we're here for. You know, say, oh, this went really well, but this didn't go well. What do I do to make it better? And just enjoy the kids. It'll show. If you're having fun, they'll have fun too.
So as far as signing up for the times go, the biggest thing is going to be y'all have a sheet. Those of you online, you don't have this sheet. I don't think I attached it. Actually, I did attach it to the very bottom. It's the last page for y'all. Those of you here, you have a sheet that will ask you to fill out. That's got your name and what days you want to do it. Do you want to partner up with somebody? Do you not? This is just what your intention is as of today. It can change. Just let me know if it does. Eventually, we will be signing up for our times using signup.com. And it's super easy. You don't even have to have a login or anything like that. You just go. You don't have to register. I'll send you the link and you just are able to go to it, and there's a calendar, and you'd be able to see like back in July on the 11th, our fabulous Jane Doyle, she had signed up for 3 different times. And so that was so generous of her, and we're so sad she didn't get to read.
But it didn't work.
But that's okay. But eventually we'll get here, and we'll tell you when that is. But for right now, what we'll be doing is based off of what you tell us, we will just go through and assign you those dates and times. And as you might have seen in the email that I sent you, I put the specific date and time and who was supposed to be there at those times. So we're doing that part of that for right now, just until we really get it up and going. So let me get back to this.
Okay, frequently asked questions. Do I have to sign up every week? No, but we would like the students to have the same volunteers as much as possible. So if you do want to sign up with a partner and alternate weeks, that would be great. Or if you do want to just sign up individually, and then if you can't make it, then you call us and, we'll get someone in there to read with them. What if I sign up and I can't be there? If you have a partner, check with them first. If not, call me or Kathy. Can you sign up for both the 110 and the 130 time and work with 2 students? Absolutely. Just be sure to sign up on the sign up sheet for both times.
Or
And
tell me on your
Yeah.
sheet and I will get you.
what
signed up
happens
for
if
right
a
now.
student can't be there that day? We already talked to them about that. And they said they would send someone else that could take that child's place just for that day, so that you're not going to show up and they say, oh, sorry, he isn't here, and you have to go home. So
Mhm.
they'll get the benefit out of reading with you that day.
And there will be kids when you first go to get your students who are like, oh, I want to go. I want to go.
Yeah.
So don't worry. There will be kids who
Anything
want
to
to
get out
go.
of the class.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You mean that they would not want to go just because you're such a terrific person?
Maybe, could be.
Yes, yes. So,
Pick me, pick me.
those of you that are online, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. Are there any questions in the room? I know it's
No,
okay.
that's good. That's the time
No,
to do it.
that is the time to do it.
Anything else you can
Well, we
think
can
of?
still review.
Yeah. We were talking about stickers, and I think that might be something that we can put in their little folder, and you can give them a sticker. But as far as food or candy, anything like that, no.
Elementary schools, at least in Collin, because they're already getting the privilege of being with you, and that makes
Yeah.
it feel even more
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they get stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you could just, put a little sticker on their hand, that kind of thing, they like that. So
It's amazing what little things.
I know.
mean To children,
it
you
is.
know, what they'll do for something.
I know. It is crazy. And I know how much you want to do for them, but we need to keep this as uniform as possible, so that the kids are getting the same things and that it isn't a big thing that the other kids are not getting, because it is a treat for them to have special attention. We just wanted to take a few minutes and have you buddy up with somebody, and I have some books here that are kind of at that level. And if you could just kind of practice asking some of those questions that are on the get to know you sheet, and then reading through a chapter, having one person be the reader, maybe do one page and then switch, have the other person do a page, just so you get kind of a feel for what it's going to be like.
Okay, before we do that,
Okay.
our friends that are online, you're not obviously going to be able to practice that with us. So do any of you have any other questions before I stop the Zoom? No? Okay, if you do, you can see our contact information there. Also, I sent you in the email that you got with the link, you've got that whole packet. At the end of the packet of pages, is that sheet. If you want to just type up that information and email it back to me, if you are interested and want to be a part of it, you can either fill that out, scan it, send it to me, or you can just type it up and send me that information so that I know what day to get you signed up for. And we will be letting everybody know as soon as we know when we're starting. So, we don't have our complete start date just yet, but we're hoping for soon. Just is going to depend on what the school thinks. So, all right. Thank you, ladies. Oh, wait, there's one question. There's one thing in chat. Hang on just a second. Oh, you're welcome, Shelley. Thank you. She just said thank you to us. Okay, I'm gonna stop my sharing and stop our video.
So if we want to partner, we all sign our partners.
Yeah,
Do we have to pick our
right.
what?
Yes.
Right, what?
You, if you're